the channel. I'm going to do a mini review of the DJI Mavic Mini. This is not going to be a full exhaustive review. This video is basically just going to cover two of the major critical flaws of this DJI Mavic Mini. So number one, well, let's back up a minute. If you're watching this because you're thinking about getting a DJI Mavic Mini and you want to know what you're getting yourself into before you buy it, I'll start off with this. I'm happy with it, by all means. For the price, you're not going to get anything better. Do get the bundle, get the flymore combo, whatever they call it. Comes with obviously the drone. You get this case with 3 batteries. You get the battery pack. I'm sure you know. Comes with extra props. Problem is, you have 3 batteries and a controller that has an internal battery that is not interchangeable. You have to recharge it between uses, and it only lasts me maybe a battery and a half at best. So I'll have all 3 batteries charged, fully charged. I'll have this fully charged. I'll have the phone that I'm using as a controller fully charged. Problem with that is anything you plug into your phone coming from a powered device is going to be charging your phone. So even if your phone is 100% fully charged when you plug it in here, it's going to be using power, and it's not going to be using the power from its battery itself. It's going to be using its power from here. So biggest flaw I can say in this whole thing here is the battery size of this controller. Maybe the battery size would be okay if you could open it up, put a new battery, multiple batteries. You can do that with the drone. Why can't you do that with the controller? I mean, these batteries are good. You get about 45 minutes of runtime out of the controller. The other downside, which I wouldn't say is critical, the phone case that I use is, just something that covers up my Galaxy. I have an S10 Plus. This is an older S8 Plus. Now, if you have any kind of a case on it, it's not going to work. Yeah, you could probably get that in there. Nope, you can't. You got to take it out of the case. Now, if you have one of those cases that's really flipping on there, like you got to work to get that thing off, it's just not convenient. Then you're putting your phone in the controller uncased, unprotected. Drop your controller, your phone's toast if it's all glass. Or simply, just honestly, the biggest problem for me is the inconvenience of having to take the phone out of the case, put it back in the case. In the scenario of having a phone with a case like the S8 Plus, the case that's on there comes with one of those, like, I don't need a screen protector, like a peel and stick screen protector, because the case itself has plastic over the front. This one doesn't have the plastic over the front. It's just the case around the sides, and it's got a peel off protector. Problem is, you put it in here without the case, of course, and these little things that your phone slides into basically encroach on the peel and stick screen protector and screw it up on the edges. Not cool. That's not anything more than an inconvenience. You could work around that. You can, if you do this regularly, either get a phone that's going to be dedicated to this that you don't need a case for, or get a screen protector that works, or just don't use a screen protector, or just don't use a case. Whatever. You can work around all that. That's just an inconvenience. Is DJI going to do anything to resolve this? Is there a warranty issue I should know about, where maybe I got a defective battery? Should this be lasting for 3 full batteries, of the 3 full drone batteries? If you know, I'd appreciate a comment down below. If you like this video, obviously hit the like button. Subscribe to this video if you want to see more drone footage. In reality, the DJI Mavic Mini is probably the best starter drone, especially for the fact that you can get some awesome footage. You can take it anywhere in the world. It's 249 grams, so you don't have to register with the FAA, at least in the United States. Here we are, set up. Push takeoff, get up in the air.
The home point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
Let's try this again. Usually go straight up. So here's another thing, actually, while we're here. I'll back this thing up a little bit. It's kind of loud. If you're new to drones, like I said, this is probably the best drone you could ever think of to start with because it essentially flies itself. If you're not touching your controller, it stays put. You bump it, you know, it's not gonna, it's responsive, but like unlike a toy drone, you bump the thing and it's on the ground already, you know. This one, it's not gonna do that. It's pretty forgiving. Here's the problem. Sometimes what will happen is I won't be touching the controller and it's descending. And that's not cool, especially if you're flying over water. Like I'll be going along. I'll just be cruising along, you know, and all of a sudden it starts going down by itself. And I'm like, whoa, pull up, you know. I'm not pushing it down. If you're not pushing it down, this thing should be maintaining its altitude 100% exact. I mean, this thing's connected to GPS, you know, multiple satellites. It's supposed to maintain its latitude, longitude, everything. It's supposed to maintain its exact position if you're not touching any controllers. If you're going forward and backward, all it should be doing is going forward and backward. It should be staying in the air exactly where it's supposed to be. And occasionally, like I said, I'll just be cruising along, you know, whether I'm watching here or if I'm flying, sight flying, all of a sudden it's just going down, you know, like just ever so slightly. Like today, earlier today, I was flying over a river and it was hovering there. I had it at about 15 feet high, and then it slowly started coming down, and it got about a foot off the water. And I was waiting for it to, you know, see if it would sense that it's, you know, getting close to the water or getting close to landing or something like that and correct itself or stop doing that. It didn't stop. I had to hit it to bring it up. And that's not cool, especially if you, like I said, if you're over water. But there is another firmware update. I was actually going to update it after I flew it today, but I got through a battery and a half, you know, basically 45 minutes of flight time roughly, and the controller was down to, well, one little dot there, and the app was telling me make sure your RC is at least 30% charged, and clearly it wasn't because it wouldn't allow me to do the update. That's not cool at all. I mean, I want to get moving. I don't want to have to plug this thing in every time I fly, you know, through a battery. Well, let's take a little flight here, see where I'm at, see what kind of wind we're dealing with. I'm at an old abandoned golf course, if you can't tell, behind a neighborhood. Golf course has been abandoned for probably, I don't know, 15 years or so. And all the hype about this thing going so far, do know that you need the perfect set of circumstances for this thing to get a decent distance away from you. Let's cruise over here to the abandoned golf house, the old clubhouse. It's pretty cool looking. Neighborhood kids screw with it. It is a gated community, otherwise you'd have tons of squatters and all kinds of riffraff in there. I mean, you have the neighborhood kids screwing around with it, but nothing real serious. That building would be gone by now if it was not in this gated community. Here's the Black Creek. It's called Black Creek because it is black. The water is completely black. It does connect to the St. Johns River, which is a brackish river. Connects to the ocean here in Jacksonville, Florida. So yeah, here's one of the holes, cart path, bunch of trees. But anyway, so I think I was talking about the distance here. how far it'll get away from you. Right now I'm 32 meters away. I'm sorry, 32 meters up, just over 200 meters away, distance-wise. It's doing all right. It's not really glitchy at all. But you get much farther away than that, and it starts getting choppy, and then the RC loses connection. You have to be out wide open space for this thing to really perform from a distance perspective. You know, right now I'm standing next to my truck in a big metal box, and it seems to interfere with the controller. I don't know why. Watch this thing stop. Took a second, but it stopped pretty quick. And you see that gimbal movement. That drone is flying pretty choppy, but the video stays solid. Now that is a very good feature of this drone. It's got an awesome gimbal on it, you know, for being such a cheap aircraft, drone, whatever you want to call it. I've been flying now for, well, you know, about, what, 5-10 minutes? The controller's already almost dead. It just dies quicker than that. I'm going to have to contact DJI. This can't be right. Look at that gimbal. So back to what I was saying about being a first-time drone pilot. It takes off easy, it lands easy. I was thinking, ooh, people are hand landing these things in the videos I was watching before I bought this thing. I'm like, yeah, I'd never do that. But I mean, sure enough, I mean, it's easier than heck. Get it over to you. That's all there is to it. You just push the down button, it senses what it's on top of, and it drops it right down. So, yeah, look at that gimbal, still moving around. The camera's still rolling. If you have any questions, put it in the comments. I'll answer them in the comments, depending on the question. I may just do a whole nother video, especially if it's something that I would like to know myself. If it's something I haven't dealt with. One thing I like about this too, these don't get very warm. I mean, they heat up, but they don't get hot. Like, you film with a GoPro, it gets hot. These things don't get that hot. And I'm in Florida. It's at least 90 degrees right now, which isn't ridiculous, but the sun's out. And Florida sun is definitely too hot for a GoPro to have sitting on a tripod in the sun for more than a few minutes. GoPro will overheat and shut down. Fix that GoPro. Would it, if I knew this ahead of time, if I knew that this controller only lasted a battery and a half before buying it, would I have not made the purchase? No, it wouldn't have been a deal killer, because this drone is excellent. For what it is, get it. Everybody should have this thing. If you like, I mean, even if it's like home videos, you do anything fun with your family. I mean, honestly, like, just to get a few awesome pictures. You don't even need to worry about cinematography or video editing. Like, when you're out fishing, you can just set this thing out, you know, 20 feet up, 30, 40 feet out from you, point it at you, drop the gimbal down so you're center shot, you know, put a GoPro on your chest, let that thing sit there, put your controller down and forget about it. As long as it doesn't have the problem mine does, where it descends when it feels like it. And I haven't heard that problem happening with anyone else. I haven't seen any other YouTube videos where people have that issue, so that may be just something I'm experiencing, and hopefully this latest firmware update will take care of that. And the firmware updates do help. I did do a firmware update right after I got this thing that corrected some of the flight issues where it was kind of bouncing around where it was when it was hovering. It was like glitching kind of. Firmware update solved all that, smoothed it out. Didn't affect the flight or anything like that. Like once you're moving around, it wasn't doing that, but it was hovering, but it was glitching around, like it was trying to figure out what it was doing. Bullet points of the video here: critical flaw, controller battery life, terrible. At least the thing gets through one full drone battery flight time, but to only get through 1.5 at best before it dies, that's honestly unacceptable. And that may be a deal killer for you, honestly. But for me, even with this issue, I'd still buy it. It's still an awesome drone. Yes, buy it. The link's in the description. I'd buy it again. Honestly, my 7 and 9-year-olds want to fly a drone. I'm not going to buy them cheap drones because I don't care if I spend $30 on a drone or even $100 on a drone. The thing's going to be destroyed in 10 minutes. I will be hesitant on buying them a $400 or $500 drone like this one because you can crash it. It's just almost impossible to crash if you're not trying to crash it. And that'd be the only hesitation I have with letting my kids fly it, is them just trying to be crazy with the thing. But if they're honestly just trying to learn how to fly and they're honestly trying not to crash it, they're not going to crash it. It's almost impossible to screw up. It's so easy. The technology it's just there. It takes care of itself. So yeah, best starter drone for sure. Definitely not a deal killer with the battery life of the controller. I'm hoping that DJI does come out with some kind of a fix for that. Maybe I got to get my controller replaced. Maybe that's a warranty issue. Maybe nobody else is having that issue. Smash that subscribe, smash the like. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm done rambling.